This is my 1993 Toyota Land Cruiser that we've been building on the channel over the last year, and it's basically unrecognizable compared to when I first got this truck. Today I just wanted to make a video, a compilation video going over everything that we've done to this Land Cruiser in the last year and what I've done to get it to this point. Let's get to it.
Who they are, you know who they are, and it's possible.
And let's jack it up. Hold on. Though.
Jack it up?
Wait.
Yeah, that dial's on.
Okay, the dial's aligned.
Yep.
Since I'm still waiting for my transfer case parts, I can't start the motor yet, so the plan of attack is to start just tying everything up in the engine bay. We are getting dangerously close to firing up this Land Cruiser for the first time, and I feel like I can finally see the light at the end of an extremely long tunnel.
It's one of the famous investment funds. They invested.
It can't rotate on its own.
And you push the whole thing back.
Push the whole thing back. We're gonna have to route that wiring harness back too. Okay, I'll give it a little bit more. It's on. It's in. It's in. Wow, we didn't spill it.
Watch your goddamn mouth.
I know. Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out in the tube. All right, so we're cranking the motor over to make sure that nothing's binding up and there's no issues. I'm really actually scared to turn this. Okay, hold on. That's a good sign. It sounds good when it's cranking over. It sounds like it's in time and everything. Probably just need to get fuel up into the fuel rail. As you can probably tell, my surroundings look a little bit different, and that's because we finally made it out here to Idaho. We're not even completely unpacked yet, and you know we already had to start working on the Land Cruiser. Man, that thing is rock solid, just chipping off. I mean, it works, so we'll put it back in. So we're gonna go counterclockwise to get it to 3. Well, we officially have 20 miles on the rebuild now, and there's no big issues to report. Haha, gotcha. I have the rear end pretty decently flexed out, as you can see here, and we have a ton of brake line left in there for travel. We're looking good. We have lots of length left on that brake line. Do you guys see how big these freaking tires are? In case you were wondering what the carrying capacity of the cargo area of an 80 series Land Cruiser is, it's about 4 38-inch tires. Took up the entire rear cargo area of the Land Cruiser. The 38 was definitely the right choice. They perfectly fill out the wheel wells. I can tell you right now, just looking at it, steering might be an issue. Back here, I think when we stuff it, we're probably gonna contact everything. It feels like you're driving a shopping cart, like how those front wheels are always like shaking around like that. But we're still dealing with other issues from the suspension lift. We have to fix the Panhard angle and we have to fix the caster. And both of those are going to be fixed by adding these suspension brackets here. Happy with that one, baby. Look at that. Come on. Yes.
Oh, that's pretty.
As I'm going through this footage and editing everything, it's a surreal feeling to see the Land Cruiser driving on this trail and finally just working as it's intended to do. And I'm gonna get a little bit sentimental for a moment, but there's a feeling that you get when you drive something that you built for the first time, when you finally see it after all of those long nights spent in the garage, learning new skills, creating your parts list, and then the countless hours spent on forum boards reading build threads until the early morning. And at one point, this was just a bunch of boxes in the garage full of parts. And now you get to see the fruits of your labor. It can only be described as a profound feeling of bliss. It's an overwhelming sense of accomplishment to finally see what you built operating. And that is why we build. For some, it's just fun. For others, it's therapy. Or maybe it's both. It's a way to decompress and just escape the daily grind, and I'm extremely thankful for it. It's 7:30 in the morning. Casey and I are headed up into the mountains. We're taking a weekend trip out to Stanley, Idaho to meet up with some of his friends. Casey said he found something interesting, so if I can get down here without breaking my ankle, we'll see what it is. What'd you find?
Rocks.
Oh. Wow. This mad scientist has come up with this creation right here. So this shelf slides onto his slider, and then we have the diesel heater. We have a T. It's going to go into my vent over here. It goes into his Jeep through the side of the body right here. I fell into a hole and twisted my ankle, so it was just, oh man, it was just all around just a terrible night. So I'm coming out here today solo camping, and I do have work tomorrow, so we're gonna have to leave probably before the sun comes up. So the campsite I was at yesterday was all the way back here on this corner, but there's 2 people there on a Sunday. So I kept driving up the road here, ended up at this campsite, and it's not you're basically staying in those lodges, which is not what we want to do here. So we're pulling back up to that campsite right now. I drove past it on the way back down and I noticed that the people that were there were gone. And all that I saw there now was one of those Rivian EV trucks. And I don't think those people are gonna camp here. They don't look like they have a tent or anything set up, as you can see. So maybe I just come down here, set up my tent, and see if they end up staying. We're supposed to get into the mid-20s tonight, so it's not particularly like nail-biting cold, but it's not essentially warm either. So I can already see my breath as I'm setting up the campsite and everything. So it's gonna be a little bit of a chilly night out here. And man, where are we? I think we're in Cascade, Idaho. Sun is almost fully set. Start on dinner here pretty soon. We're just gonna do something really basic, just make some hot dogs, and then we're just gonna hop into this tent. Probably go to bed really early tonight. All right, as I said, a simple but good dinner. That does the trick. Welcome to my my little home.
So that's something else we need to do before we can take off.
Oh, good morning. It is cold out here and still pretty dark at about 6:50 in the morning. Gonna get the landcruiser fired up, start warming her up right now, and then pack up the tent. Ooh, a little bit slower of a crank than normal, but definitely no issues at all. Starting up. All right. They did what a lot of those kind of shops do, and that's cutting the wire to the ignition signal. It splices off and goes into the relay for their alarm. They cut it all the way up at the connector, and basically it means if you ever want to get rid of this damn thing, you're kind of stuck with a connector that has a wire that's about, you know, a 1/4 inch long on the end of it to splice back into. So it's soldered right here, and then these two splices are where it was going off to that relay barrier so that this doesn't short against anything, and also protects the wire and holds it together with the adhesive backing. Everything's plugged back in. We got the heat shrink on there. Let's see if the landcruiser still starts. This will be the test. Yep, we're good.